This episode is brought to you by Roni Rent, your go-to source for premium event rentals, and Real Home Lending LLC, NMLS number 2049205, your trusted partner for all your mortgage needs.
Welcome back to Fearless Empowered Women. I'm Veronica Oladeji.
And I am Eunice Ladipo. Today's episode is extra special to us because we're celebrating Mother's Day with a topic that so many women can relate to, which is motherhood and ambition. Finding balance in life and business. And this is not limited to only businesses. We're talking about career as well. So when we reference business here, this is also um, talking about your career if you're not a business person yet.
Yes, it's about being a mother and embracing all the challenges and ambitions. So being a mother and an entrepreneur or a leader or a woman is no small feat, right? It's a journey filled with joy, challenges, and a constant balancing act. So today we're diving into how ambitious women can thrive in both motherhood and business without sacrificing their well-being.
That's true. And whether you're a working mom or a stay at home mom thinking about launching a business, or an entrepreneur trying to juggle it all, like we all do as women, whether you're a mom yet or not, this episode is for you.
Yeah, let's be real. Balancing motherhood and business is not perfection. It's not about perfection. It's about integration. The idea of having it all can feel overwhelming, right? It can feel very overwhelming. But what it really means is designing a life that works for you and your family.
Right. A recent study shows that nearly 60% of mom entrepreneurs, actually, I think this should cover for all moms, not only entrepreneurs, feel guilty about not spending enough time with their kids while also worrying about neglecting their businesses and their career. It's a tough reality, but one we can navigate with the right mindset and strategy. Here's the thing, we all ask these questions about how do you juggle it all. When we see successful people, we're very curious about how they are able to juggle all the balls that they have going on. And my typical and my typical answer to this, it's impossible to always be balanced. There'll be times where one aspect will take more priority over the other, and we should just, I think what's important is accepting that fact and feeling okay about it, not feeling guilty about it when that's happening.
Yeah, yeah. I recently had the opportunity to speak to a group of women about balance in life. And the key point that I had to make to these women is that while life is a balancing act, um, it's not equal. Not all parts are equal. So, many times we think, oh my goodness, I have to give this much time to this and that much time to that. But no, you have to learn to kind of prioritize and say at this point in time, in a particular point in time, you have to give 100% maybe to what you're doing. Or in another point, you may have to give just 20% to what you're doing. When we say it's a balancing act, we don't mean you have to give equal amount of time to everything that you're doing. Otherwise, it will drain you. When we think of what we're balancing motherhood, we're balancing our careers, we're balancing being a wife, we're balancing being everything, right? So we're literally supposed to be superwoman, super mums. But in all of it, you kind of have to look at it and say, what's the priority? But we'll talk more about that later. What's important is giving yourself grace, obviously, giving yourself grace and saying, some days you feel like super mom, like I said, and other days you feel like you're just surviving. And that is okay. It's okay. But most importantly, give yourself grace.
Absolutely. I mean, the key is to focus on what matters, like Veronica said. Prioritizing, that's where that comes in. Like making sure you know what is most important at any particular time. And you know what? Let's go of the pressure to do it all perfectly.
Mm-mm. Perfection doesn't exist.
No, it's and it holds you down. It takes you nowhere. Just do the best that you can at any given time. It's good enough.
Absolutely. So I think let's talk about practical strategies that can help mums balance their ambitious ambitions, right, with family life. So let's look at practical strategies. And here are some tried and true methods that may work for you. First one I would say is time blocking. Set dedicated work hours and family time. Treat them as non negotiable. Okay. Set the time for work, set the time to play, and don't mix them up. Set if it's going to be mornings that you're working, set that time to work. And then in the evenings, set that time to play. Um, Other thing is outsourcing and delegating. Okay. It's important to feel like you can outsource the stuff that you can't do as well or stuff that take a lot of your time. You don't have to do it all. So whether it's childcare, house chores, business tasks, lean on help where possible. I know for one, I outsource my house cleaning. I need to get my house cleaned every other week. I outsource it because it's not something I look forward to, but it's something that needs to be done. It's something that needs to be done. So I get it outsourced. When I'm busy with events, I get catering. I get catering done for the week to make sure that, the house is stocked with food that my family can quickly go to. Because I'm not going to be cooking every day when I'm busy trying to plan events, especially on the week of my event. So I've learned to outsource those stuff. And of course, like I said, with childcare, if you have to outsource childcare, you just got to do it. Don't feel like, oh my goodness, I feel like a terrible mother because I'm not looking after my kids. There is a time for everything. And if you have to outsource, don't feel guilty about it. Another thing is setting realistic goals. Instead of being overwhelmed by yourself, instead of overwhelming yourself, set weekly and monthly goals that align with your energy and your schedule. Other thing that comes to mind is creating boundaries. So whether it's a home office space or a rule of no works during dinner time, boundaries help keep both your business and your family life balanced
Yes,
as much as possible.
yes, and to come in there, um, I know that also, ladies, um, we have friends, family, business, friends, and the people that we know that sometimes have other plans outside of um, what we do to get by with our businesses or as mom or as individual for our self-care and so on that we're invited to. And sometimes it's hard to say no, you know, but you have to know and you have to find a way or a place to set those boundaries to things that um, may be important, but we just have to take lesser priority for any particular point in time. And we should be bold enough to express this to our loved ones, to share our challenges or what we're going through and the reason why we're not going to be able to make those events or whatever's happening. And I feel that if you have the right village, they should understand it. It's not like you're going to say no all the time, but there'll be points in time in your life where some things just have to take or lower priority than other things. And
Yes.
we should be okay setting those boundaries or saying, no, please, I can't this time, but here is how I'm going to make it up to you.
Right. Right. It's okay to say no now, right? It's okay. Once again, give yourself grace. So, prioritizing your self care is another big one, right? A burnt out mother is no good for the business of the or the family, right? She's no good to the family if she's burnt out and just needing self care. Self care isn't selfish; it's necessary. So, I encourage you, women listening to us. Um, Take time to care for yourself. Now, self care can mean shopping, it can mean a massage, it can mean just sitting in front of the TV and doing nothing for yourself. So, whatever self care means to you, find the time to include it in your well being, in your wellness, in your care, because it will really help your soul to gain strength, right? What are your, I was going to say, what are your self-care strategies, right? What self-care strategies?
I mean, I have to be honest, I'm just starting to lean into this. Just like everybody else, I struggle with this because you want to be all, you want to do it all, you want to juggle all everything at the same time. And what ends up suffering is the care for yourself. So, I mean, it's one of the things that I have paid a lot of attention to this year is to know and acknowledge that I am the main engine for making all these things I'm juggling work. And if the engine is not functioning, the car is not going anywhere. So this year, I am beginning to prioritize more things that have to do with just my mental health, just general care. I have been trying to work out every day. Even if it's just 15 minutes, I have been trying to. Even if it's just go out, put my music on, and take a power walk or and meditate as well before I go to bed. Sometimes I try to do it in the mornings. I'm not there yet with that, but before I go to sleep, that's easier. I try to use my Peloton app to meditate and stretch. And also on weekends, I just turn off, not put any work in front of myself or do anything for about 30 minutes, just total shutdown, just aimlessly doing nothing, not even watching TV or anything. And the last thing that I am beginning to enjoy now is people watching. So I drive down I've been exploring most of the downtowns around my neighborhood. My favorite for now is still Lawrenceville downtown because there is a ramen place which is really good over there. So I go there, I sit at a spot, they have parks. I just sit and just watch people do their things, just watch them,
Interesting.
enjoy how people just live their daily lives, just move around and try to guess where they're going, what I think they're doing. And it's relaxing for me.
That's
And
nice.
so this last point that you raised is huge. It's very important. We often put ourselves last, but taking care of ourselves makes us better moms and daughters and business women. So it's very important that we pay attention to our care.
Yeah, I like that, and I like the this people watching thing. It allows you to just zone out, and just relax. My kind of relaxation mode is I like to watch TV by myself in my room. So when I put the child to sleep, I go up to my room, and especially on weekends, I could watch TV till like early hours on a Friday night. Just watch Netflix and just watch something that doesn't require me thinking about anything, but is just for pure entertainment. And that is my mode of just relaxation. Um, Definitely health is wealth. So I love the fact that you are getting out there and walking and exercising. That is really important for the mind as well. If you're healthy physically, it helps the mind to be healthy too. So let's talk about how we can prioritize our mental health and physical well-being, managing all of life's demand.
Okay. So, so many moms think of self-care as just like us, when we talked about what do you do for self-care now, we went on and on.
All right, we'll take that again.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about how women can prioritize our mental and physical well-being while managing all of life's demands.
Yes. So many of us as women, I'm not gonna just say mom now because I'm sure we have some sisters that are not there yet or don't intend to, they're not planning to be, which is acceptable. So thinking of self-care, we think of self-care as indulgence. We think it's something that you earn. But in reality, we actually need it to sustain our success. You know, we
Yeah.
cannot function well without self-care. It's not something that you do last as a reward for yourself. It's actually something that is important for you to function well.
Yes, 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 and you are right. And so let's redefine self-care. It's not just a spa day. It's not just a vacation, even though we could do with vacations, right? It's anything that restores your energy and mental clarity. How about that?
So some great self-care habits for us ladies include regular exercise. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have to be you're lifting weight or you're running or you're doing. You can literally just put your music on and set a timer and do about 20 minutes work around your neighborhood, in your parks, or just stretch, yoga, join your yoga classes. A lot of things you can do, which is also, if you do all those classes, that's another means of networking and finding people that can be on the same journey as you. So another one is healthy eating. You know, nutrition plays a role in energy level and brain function. It's very important we pay attention to what we eat.
Yeah. So get your five a day of
Yeah.
fruits and vegetables in.
Yes. And also our vitamins. I'm just starting to put more attention into this. My a friend told me how important B complex is, especially to our mental health. And I've realized that my mood swings, I've actually, because I've been tracking the days that I use or I don't use my B complex and my other vitamins, that I experience more of mood swings than when I'm regularly taking those vitamins. And
Interesting.
so, as we're eating healthy, we need to think about our vital vitamins as well, making sure that we're using them. So, eat healthy and use your vitamins. Also, scheduling your downtime. Don't just make it happen if it happens. Plan them into your days or your week, not month, your week. Time that you're just going to do things that, like Veronica said, that don't require you thinking too hard, just relaxing.
Yes.
This may be just watch YouTube, watch our podcast, um,
Yes.
listen to our podcast, call a friend. There's so many things that you can do. Find the things that you enjoy, because that's what's important. Because what you enjoy will be different from what others enjoy. Just schedule those things into your days, your week, as you go along. And connecting with supportive people. Know your tribe and find ways to connect with them. And that's where, like, going to some of those exercise classes can help.
Yeah.
If you connect with like-minded people, those classes will be a good place for you um, to keep in touch with them and keep up with your progress and their progress as you move along. So surround yourself with those who uplift and encourage you. It's very important.
And I joined the gym recently as well because I wanted to be committed to my health journey, and I felt like being in a room of people who were doing the same thing on the same health journey would encourage and uplift me. So, that's my way of connecting with others while staying fit and healthy. So most importantly, learn to say no. Learn to say no to things that drain you, right? Learn to say no to things that don't align with your well being. Learn to say no to things that just take up a lot of your time and doesn't really add to you. And I have learned that, if I'm to be honest, I've learned that over the last couple of years that I feel like I'm blessed with talents. And the more you use your talent, the more talents you are blessed with, right? But I have a lot of stuff that I can give to people. But sometimes saying yes, yes, yes all the time is not necessarily the right thing to do, right? Because it takes up your time. Everything that you're saying yes to will take from your time some other things that you really need to do. So I've learned to say no to stuff. I've learned to say no to people, even though I can do something. I've learned to say no because I learned that it's taken away from more important stuff that I should be doing. And like we said at the beginning of this, you need to kind of balance stuff and balance your time. But it's not to say I'm giving my time to every single thing that comes my way. I'm looking at myself and saying, do I really need to do this? Do I really need to give of my time to this? Yes, I can do it, but at what expense? So I've learned to say no. And so it's important for us to tell you this as you listen to this. Learn to say no. Learn to say, maybe not today, maybe not on this occasion, because it is going to take of your time.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why surrounding yourself with your village and people going on the same journey as you is important. Because if somebody is on the same journey as you, they understand why you're saying no.
Yes.
They
Yes.
know it's not just because whatever you were meant to do for them or with them is important. It's not because it's not important. It is that the priority is different at that moment in time. And they will understand. They will even encourage you. I for one, I never had any issue saying no to stuff. Like, seriously. I think mine is saying more yeses. I am super focused, and I intentionally pick my friends. If I cannot say no to you and explain to you and you understand, I don't think we'll be friends in the first place.
Yes.
I don't think I will even consider us friends. And
Yeah.
if I feel you're not able to say no, or you're that person who's always like not
Yes,
able
girl.
to, I don't feel comfortable around people like that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would like I said, I'll say it again. I think I've said it on a previous episode. Like the day you expressed exactly how you felt about a certain issue, um, that I was like, I've always loved our friendship. You're one of when we moved here, you were super supportive, you were super friendly, you were one, and you still are one of my favorite
Oh,
people. Like you,
I love you too.
your energy and everything. But then that day just sealed it that yes, this can be a long friendship. This is, because I want you to be able to tell me how you, because I can't read
Yeah,
your mind. And
yeah,
same as you, I don't expect you to read my mind. I should be able to express things to you. And I feel you should be able to understand. So saying no, has never been. People that are very super close to me know that I
yeah,
would say no
yeah,
if it's a
yeah.
yeah.
And I appreciate that. And like you said, if you say no to someone and they get offended without really understanding why you're saying no, then you have to question, right? You have to question why they're getting offended. You're saying no and you're explaining stuff. They should understand. And if they don't understand, let's talk about it. But don't make me feel pressured that I have to give my time to you. Time is precious. Time is a precious thing, is one of the most precious gifts we could have. And how you spend your time is really up to you, the individual. How you spend your time should be up to you. And people should respect that, right? And if we're true friends, friends understand. And yeah, if you don't give me your time forever, then I'll understand you don't want to be friends. But there's times that we have to say, sorry, I'm a little busy today, or I have a lot going on, or, I'm really just not feeling it today. Let's take a rain check and get back to it. Like you said, your village understand that, and they should understand that. So whether it's a family, close friends, or even an online community of like-minded women, like you said, having a network of support makes the balancing motherhood and womanhood and businesshood a much easier thing to do.
Yes, we're not meant to do it alone. Build your tribe, but be very intentional around the people you're building to it. The people that are not on the same journey as you will not be the best fit for your tribe. You need to build your tribe intentionally. You need to be intentional about who you let into your, you know, your village.
Yes,
Don't do
yeah.
it alone for sure, but we don't need 100 people. One or two, three, four people should be sufficient.
Quality.
Yes.
So find a community that encourages you. Find a community that shares resources and reminds you that you're not alone on this journey. Um, we've talked about mentorship. We can't talk about mentorship enough, really. Mentorship is a huge thing.
Yeah. And collaborating with people that are doing the same thing as you. Networking, very important. Especially people that are facing similar challenges. Um, that can be life changing.
Hmm? Okay, so let's look at actionable takeaways.
So, before we wrap up, let's go over some of the key takeaways from today's conversations. Um, you can have both motherhood and ambition. Please, you don't have to throw you don't have to throw one away for another. It just takes being intentional. You have to be intentional. You have to prioritize. So time management is your best friend. Use tools, delegate, and set up your routine. You know, and also your support system is important. Lean on your village, whether it's your family, your friend, your community, whether you have to pay for help, please lean in.
Got me singing that song, Lean on Me. Yes.
Veronica got me my cleaner, and she's amazing. So I'm really thankful for that. Seriously, she's one of the key people in my life right now. So thank you. And
Listen, cleaners, they do their job so well, a lot better than I would, right? So why do I want to spend all my time cleaning my house and then be drained at the end of it and have no time for nothing else? It was the best decision I could make, I
yeah,
tell you.
we're empowering another woman.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's a win-win in this situation.
indeed.
And then we give yourself grace. There is no perfect balance. You cannot have 50-50. When people say work-life balance, it's actually work-life juggling.
Mm,
You cannot balance it. There's no balance.
yes.
One will always take more priority over another at different times.
Say that again.
There will be time where you have to be
Yeah,
70-80% mother or friend or sister or wife. And there'll be time where you have to be 80% a business person or career person. So don't feel guilty about it. Don't think it needs to be perfectly balanced. No. And lastly, you mean self care. We've talked about it. There's so many ways to take care of yourself. And please don't make it uh, or thing that you reward yourself with. Make it a key factor for you to function well.
yeah. I think if I'm to emphasize one additional point in all of this, being able to balance and prioritize, you need to be able to communicate effectively. So if it's communicating with your loved ones, your husband or your partner, your spouse, or your friends when it's time to go out and you just don't have the time, it's really about communicating effectively with them to let them know, hey, this is going on in my life and this is where I'm at right now, and I just don't have the time for this and this. So effective communication is a key part of balancing whatever you choose to balance. Um, so let's challenge our listeners to do something, right? Let's challenge our listeners to do something for this themselves for this Mother's Day. So whether it's a spa day, a quiet moment with a book, watching a movie, or just taking time to reflect or sitting in Lawrenceville watching the passers-by. you know, take some time to reflect on your wins because you deserve it. Don't think it has to be an expensive. Hey, if you want to go on a vacation, go on a vacation. We'll talk about that as well because I feel like so many women think they can't escape because they're too busy. They can't get away for a few days. Sometimes you need that as well if you can afford it. But just taking time to reflect on your wins and knowing that you deserve to take time out is really crucial to a woman's success. You deserve it because you're worth it, just like L'Oreal said.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Please don't make it your a reward. Plan it. Make it a key thing, you know, on your plan. And that wraps up today's episode of Fearless Empowered Women. We hope you've enjoyed this conversation. We hope you've been inspired and encouraged to take care of yourself. And yeah, I hope we hope we've inspired you, all the incredible women out there, to
Yes,
take
we
care of
did.
yourself and also give yourself grace when things don't feel balanced in your life.
Yes, yes, yes. There is no perfect human being. So find a way that works for you. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, send us an email, or share it with fellow mums or entrepreneurs. Let's keep the conversation going. Tag us on social media using Fearless Empowered Women, obviously hashtag Fearless Empowered Women, and share how you balance motherhood and ambition, or share how you balance womanhood and ambition.
Until next time, keep thriving, keep balancing, and keep empowering one another.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in to the Fearless Empowered Women podcast. We hope you found it insightful in your growth and empowerment journey. Connect with us on Instagram at Fearless Women Pod, or send us an email to podcastview@gmail.com to share your views. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We look forward to connecting with you soon.